Disney's next animation to live action adaptation, Aladdin, is just around the corner, and the internet is abuzz with Disney dropping a number of first looks at the upcoming movie. The announcement that Will Smith would be portraying the genie in the movie was made back in 2017, and the internet went into a collective breakdown, sending this clip from 2007's I Am Legend viral.
No! No! No!
It seems that the people of the internet must have a very short memory span, because now with Disney's latest teasers of the movie, the internet peoples are once again reacting in shock to Smith's casting in the movie, as if they hadn't heard this news before, only 12 months ago. So, what's the huge fuss here? Firstly, some are annoyed that Disney are recasting the role of the genie, who was originally performed by energetic, one-of-a-kind master comedian Robin Williams, despite Williams having passed away 4 years ago. Williams' outlandish, over-the-top performance led to not only one of Disney's most popular characters, but one of Williams' most memorable roles. To the role, Williams brought his famous stand-up ad-lib style, which led to a character whose lines were largely improvised and unlike anything featured in a Disney animation before. To many fans, Williams is simply irreplaceable as the character. Of course, recasting Williams in the new movie was obviously not an option for Disney, who were otherwise able to bring back James Earl Jones as Mufasa in the concurrently in production live-action Lion King adaptation. However, just because Williams has passed, that doesn't mean Disney shouldn't be able to ever touch the property again. Secondly, some have completely questioned why the unfunny Will Smith landed the gig. Will Smith is arguably best known for his action blockbuster flicks and critically renowned dramatic performances, which have garnered him 2 Academy Award nominations, even though he spent the first decade of his career performing in comedic roles. However, kids of today may only recognize Smith for his fairly recent presence on social media and YouTube, where he actively runs a channel with over 3.5 million subscribers. Because of all this, to some, Will Smith doesn't exactly scream genie, making it evident that the world has either forgotten everything that happened prior to the year 2000, or that the internet is just simply run by people who were born after the 1990s. While an enormous Robin Williams fan myself, I personally welcome the new take on the character and believe Will Smith is the perfect man for the part. So, considering the entire internet has somehow been neuralized to forget anything about Smith's career prior to the last decade, please allow me to present to you a memory refresh in the form of 5 reasons why Will Smith will be an awesome genie.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you will, look right here.
The vocals. Of course, Smith hasn't always been an Academy poster boy. In fact, his first brush with fame came in the form of a lucrative hip-hop career in the 1980s and early 1990s. As DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, Smith and collaborator Jeffrey Townsend produced 4 radio-friendly rap albums and won the first Grammy ever awarded in the rap category. As the Fresh Prince, the group's MC, Smith forged a career as one of the world's most recognizable mainstream rap artists, a career which would continue well into the early 2000s, in which time Smith recorded 5 solo albums. The role of the genie certainly requires a great vocal performance behind it, especially when it comes to the musical numbers. Sure, Robin Williams wasn't a singer, but his immense vocal control and ability to manipulate new voices at the drop of a hat led to an incredible song performance, which has become one of the most celebrated songs to come out of Disney's Renaissance period. Smith, with his background in fast-paced rap, can certainly handle the vocal gymnastics to pull off the song, and certainly isn't a stranger when it comes to recording songs for film soundtracks. This doesn't necessarily mean we'll end up seeing a rapping genie, but we'll see one that has great vocal control and ability to sing in a new way. His voice may not have the elasticity of Williams's, but then again, if we can't have Williams, why would we want someone to try and imitate him? The comedy. In 1990, Smith was approached by the NBC network, who had plans to develop a sitcom with him in the lead role. Together, Smith and NBC built The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, which would see him playing a fictionalized version of himself and give him a platform to showcase his own comedy stylings. Smith's performance as a West Philly troublemaker living with his high-class Bel-Air family made The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air an instant hit with audiences. The show was so popular that it ran for 6 seasons and 148 episodes between 1990 and 1996. In the series, Smith was energetic, upbeat, zany, and hilarious, with many of his lines improvised. His comedic timing was brilliant and his physical comedy unrivaled at the time. Smith became one of the most popular sitcom stars of the era, creating an iconic television character. While certainly not as manic, erratic, or madcap, Smith's performance in the show is somewhat comparable with Robin Williams' performance in Mork and Mindy, the sitcom which skyrocketed him to worldwide acclaim in 1978 and showcased some of the most over-the-top and highly physical routines in his 100-plus film career. In both series, the actors show an incredible understanding of comedic timing and the art of comedy as a whole, with physicality and vocality making up a great portion of each performer's shtick. Similarly to how Mork and Mindy paved a comedic film career for Williams, Fresh Prince did so for Smith. In 1997, Smith starred in sci-fi comedy Men in Black, which became a benchmark for the hybrid genre. Smith's turn in Men in Black led to 2 sequels and a lead role in multiple comedies such as Bad Boys 1 and 2, Wild Wild West, Hitch, and Hancock, which would allow him to continually show off his brilliant comedic style on the big screen. Some may argue that these days Smith wouldn't be up to the task, especially considering he hasn't delivered a comedic performance for a decade, and certainly not one as over the top as in The Fresh Prince for 2. But again, one must turn their attention to Robin Williams' career, which rotated between comedy and drama for almost 40 years, never losing any of his unpredictable comedic spark. It would seem that comedy is not something that one forgets easily, and while Smith probably won't quite match the pure genius and comedic dynamite of Williams before him, assuming he can once again hone in on his inner Fresh Prince, he certainly has the comedy chops to handle such an off-the-wall performance. If Williams could continue to deliver comedic performances so far into his career, there's no reason Smith can't too. The drama. Smith's first turn to dramatic roles occurred in 2001 when he portrayed the great Muhammad Ali in biopic film Ali, for which he would be garnered with his first Oscar nom. He continued his celebrated comedic career and slowly forged himself as an action lead. However, in 2007, Smith would earn a second Oscar nom for his performance in The Pursuit of Happiness, the film that changed his career path going forward. Since Pursuit, Smith hasn't touched a single comedic film, perhaps why most think of him more so as a dramatic actor and less of a comedic performer. While many may see this as a downside to Smith portraying the genie, I think that Smith's dramatic pedigree factors in perfectly with a character who has his fair share of dramatic moments in the film. Though the vast majority of Robin Williams' roles were comedic in nature, he was also an incredibly versatile and celebrated dramatic actor. Williams famously won an Academy Award for his dramatic role in Good Will Hunting, and would go on to perform a series of straight dramatic performances in films such as What Dreams May Come, Insomnia, 1 Hour Photo, The Final Cut, and Jacob the Liar. Williams' most wonderful performances came when he blended the arts of comedy and drama together in films like Dead Poets Society, Good Morning Vietnam, Patch Adams, Bicentennial Man, and even Aladdin. While the genie is an incredibly comedic character, he also has a deep emotional resonance. It's his desire to be free and yearning for a normal life that truly drives the poignant heart of the movie and creates a character with a plethora of layers, something that only such a talented dramatic actor could bring to a role. Without an actor with the ability to exhibit both the untamable powerhouse and the sensitive soul, this character truly cannot have a life. With Smith having demonstrated abilities in both comedy and drama, he can easily handle both aspects of the character and breathe fresh life into the role. The other guys. With all this said, there is nothing to say that Smith needs to emulate the unrivaled performance of Williams to play the role. He can simply just make it his own, just as a number of other performers have done so on stage in various productions of Aladdin the musical. Performed by a number of incredibly talented actors, the character of the genie in the stage show maintains the eclectic personality and humour of Williams' character while maintaining a sense of modern freshness. It's even said that there is room for improvisation within the role. Fan favourite James Monroe Iglehart, the first actor to perform the character on Broadway, was even presented with a Tony Award for his role in the production. One wouldn't be too surprised if the Smith take on the character were closer to that of the stage version than to Williams's, which certainly isn't a bad thing. This way, Smith will still be able to perform as the genie with a great deal of energy and pizzazz to make it feel like the same character, just without feeling like a carbon copy of Williams' performance. If Smith can manage to harness and inject the character with his Fresh Prince era hilarity and keep his performance, well, fresh, all will be in safe hands. The backlash? At the end of the day, one must wonder if the controversy surrounding Smith's casting is just another case of casting backlash. Whenever Hollywood casts a well-known actor in a popular role that doesn't particularly seem stereotypical of them, fandom goes into uproar. Famous cases, of course, include the casting of Hollywood pretty boy Heath Ledger as the Joker in 2008's The Dark Knight, comedic actor Michael Keaton as the darkly brooding Bruce Wayne Batman in Tim Burton's 1980 film classic Batman, and likewise the casting of Hollywood A-lister Ben Affleck in the same role for DC's cinematic universe, starting with 2015's Batman v Superman. In each case, the actors faced immense scrutiny by the Batman fandom. After film release, however, the actors went on to win praise from the fan bases the world over, delivering iconic performances of their characters. Most recently, Emma Watson faced backlash for being chosen to portray Belle in Disney's 2016 live-action adaptation of Beauty and the Beast, another performance which has gone on to gain praise from fans alike. If previous cases are anything to draw on, Smith could simply be facing yet another fan backlash. Those unaware of his history with comedy may discredit him for simply being that dramatic action star or that YouTube guy, but when all is said and done, Smith could quite simply blow the lid off everybody's negative lamp. While Smith's performance won't make us say Robin who, he'll certainly add something special to the role. For now, please hold in your negativity. Don't discredit Smith for being chosen in a role that seems made for him. I have trust in Disney and in director Guy Ritchie for making the perfect choice for the film that they are creating. Only time will tell. If this is your first time viewing one of my videos, you like what you've seen, you'd like to see more like this in the future, then please don't forget to hit that big old subscribe button up on your screen right now, and also hit that like button down below if you're feeling extra generous. Also, don't forget to check out my many social media accounts, and please consider supporting me over on Patreon. Thanks for watching, guys, and I hope you have a wonderful day.